But until then, let's talk about Jenn's love story. Brooke, we are watching the Bachelorette Jenn season. Just before we get into it, how are you feeling about Jenn at this point?
Wow. About Jenn? I like Jenn. I
Yeah.
love Jenn. I think she's fun. I think she's, like trying to figure life out
Right.
and all that and love and I was really impressed with how she handled Sam in this week. Because man, train wreck.
Truly
A train wreck.
My dad literally sent us a gif of a train wreck happening while we were watching the show live. It's the best way to describe it.
Honestly, we need to get your dad on this pod because
my dad,
his hot takes are so good. We'll be watching and I'll literally be like, I can't wait to hear what he has to say about this.
That's truly how it happened. She's like, oh my gosh, I wonder what he has to say. Moments later, my dad is sending us a gif of a train crashing.
The family group texts go off during Bachelorette and Big Brother.
Yeah. We, people are wondering, Jared, how did you become such a reality TV fan? We need to talk to my parents. Anyways, so yeah, I agree. I think Jenn is, I'm liking what we've gotten from her. She has way more depth than I gave her at the beginning of the season, which that was unfair for me. We'd only known her. We hadn't seen that much of her. Of course, we were going to see her depth. Where does this season rank? And I mean, you don't have to give me an exact number.
They all kind of good. They're kind of all even. But I would say I like her more than like a Caitlin Bristow or like what was that other girl, Thurston, Katie Thurston. Like she's above them to me in terms of like show.
Most.
Well, I mean like show. What's the word? Not like in. No person's above another person. I feel like I need to clarify that.
I wasn't thinking that, but okay.
But like show satisfaction.
Yeah, just show your enjoyment of the show.
Yeah.
Interesting. My favorite, but I'm interested in what's your favorite. Don't forget about Bachelor
of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can't. I don't have a memory like you do.
Okay. Well, we won't do that. Well, maybe we'll say that for the end of the season. So let's get into it. Now is this right? We're in Seattle. We were in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, we're back in the U.S. of A.
Yeah, I must have been somewhere else. Why are we in the USA?
Well, because they're back to hometowns.
That's right. So they
had to come back.
Got us back.
But why
to
they
North
chose
America.
Seattle, I don't really know.
Well, if they're gonna choose America, Pacific Northwest is a pretty good destination. I think.
Well, and I guess if you're coming from New Zealand.
Yeah. It was. You're right. Probably saved.
a
little dime on the jet plane. They don't ride in jets on the show.
Right.
Okay.
I saw a TikTok, by the way, of the guys in the airport.
Yeah.
The top 4. But how they don't have their phones?
Well, yeah, but the production does give them phones to record stuff for social media.
Huh.
I saw them doing like TikTok trends, but it was recorded when it happened because the trends are old. TikTok trends last maybe what?
Yeah, but I'm passing the
3 months.
phone too. People still do that.
Yeah, that's an evergreen one, but they were doing one that was like, I forgot what it was. It was some TikTok trend that I was like, this is a good solid.
Yeah.
It felt like half a year ago. I don't think it was quite that long.
Yeah.
Let me just, while we're talking about TikTok trends, the funniest trend of all time in the history of social media, maybe, is the "Give Me My Money" prank.
I did not tell you. I forgot to tell you. On driving on the way to school with our son, I was like, he was handing me something. He was like, "It's money, Mom. It's money." And I said, "Give me my money." And he thought it was so funny. And then he started doing it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Give me my money." And he would not stop. He was like, "Again, Mom, again."
Well, that's because it's just a silly phrase to say.
Yeah.
Especially how it's said. But then the way the prank works, if you know on TikTok, if you don't know, I don't want to leave. I don't want to give it away.
Oh my gosh.
It is so.
I don't think
funny.
It's that funny.
It is so.
I just don't
funny.
like people being humiliated. It's not funny. I mean, I guess it's not like that true humiliation.
That's the beauty of the trick of the prank because they get to join in next round. It's literally like, you got me, now I get to get someone else, and that's a good joke.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how we started talking about that, but it's okay.
Because we're talking trends.
Right. So we're talking about the Bachelorette here. Okay, so We started off this week with a one-on-one. She needed more clarity from Marcus. That was our first one-on-one, yeah. And you know what?
Look, Jeremy was pretty upset that he was not getting the one-on-one, but then he eventually did get one.
Yeah, he got his, and we'll discuss him in a second. Let's talk about Marcus.
Oh, that date was just so lame.
Well, it was product placement.
It was so lame.
Yeah, that's all it was just a big old heaping of product placement, and so, which they don't pay us any money, so I'm not even going to discuss what they were advertising. But it was for a movie that's upcoming, and they literally it would have been cool if they designed the update in a better way that you could be like, oh my gosh, they built this set, and wow, they did this, and they hired these actors. No, they just got a bunch of the former Bachelorettes.
It was the cheapest date you could possibly
to hand them cards.
I think they spent the money on flying the Bachelorettes there.
Truly.
Instead of like the actual date.
Even the yellow brick road that was there was not.
Yeah, it was like paper.
Yeah, they were. If she were wearing heels, she would have stepped through them.
Yeah,
it was not impressive. And so that made the actual date. I'm sure they enjoyed it, but it seemed lackluster to watch.
Yeah,
it was cool to see some of those past Bachelorettes, but they're not really doing much. No. The Australian Bachelorettes did more.
Charity did have a little part in the beginning when she was like giving her advice.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And then we got into the actual date where she needed to connect more with Marcus. She was worried that she was further along than he was.
Yeah, she was like, am I more invested in this than he is?
Right. And so because of that, that's why partially why he got the second one-on-one. And then but they got to the date. I don't know what prodded this out of him, or just a natural flow of conversation. He goes into
well, I think it was because she was like, what is it? Do you want me to come to your hometown? What's it going to be like? Like, tell me about your family.
Yeah, right. You're right.
And then we come to find out he had a really rough upbringing.
Incredibly rough. It was a very sad story. It was a story that unfortunately is, I guess, common in like from what I hear about foster care, kids that end up in having to need that assistance. And it was sad to hear, but it sounds like he persevered. We saw a little glimpse of him and his sister next week. She seems to be very committed to him, as he mentioned. And that was good. They seem to connect. As we've said in the past on this show, on this podcast, there's rumors, and they're just rumors. As far as I know, no one who's actually accusing him has come out and said anything and verified and confirmed anything. So these are just rumors. You should take it as if a 2-year-old just walked in here and said it. But there is a lot of rumors online about him not being particularly a great guy, in the sense of infidelity, or is it called that when you're just boyfriend and girlfriend?
I saw verbal and physical abuse.
Verbal, physical abuse, cheating, gaslighting. Literal people are accusing him of animal cruelty, but again, these are just
animal cruelty.
Yeah, these are just comments, and they're anonymous things that could just be someone who's a troll making stuff up. And so it's it's a cloud over, I guess, Marcus for the viewers, for those of us who are chronically online. I guess maybe if you're just watching, it's the first time you heard about that and you don't know about that.
Yeah.
So it is interesting with that part of it. Did that affect how you viewed the date at all, or not really?
No, my biggest thing with Marcus is I just don't really see much of a personality.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm kind of just like, I don't really know what Jenn really likes about him, I guess I'll say.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I agree. I think she likes the strong, quiet steadiness of Marcus because it's a contrast to what it sounds like she's been with or been attracted to in the past. And he does seem like a great guy from what has been portrayed on the show. Yeah. So because of that, I think that plays into it a little bit. Yeah. But other than that, it was your normal pre-hometown date. She gave him the rose. They connected. we're gonna see who he meets, who he introduces her to.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, in the preview, he was talking to some white guy, older white guy.
Okay.
So I don't know if he did have a foster family that worked out, or someone that he sees as like a parent figure.
I don't know if we missed that on the show, but we were a little bit confused as to whether that he did find him and his sister found some stability, or whether they had to stay bouncing around.
Yeah, we didn't really get a ultimate ending.
Right. So that's where we stood with Marcus. Then we got our group dates, which we were watching and kind of taking care of things in the house. I walked in and immediately saw the radio station. Oh, and by the way, everyone went on the group date except for Jeremy, so because he got the 101 after this.
Yeah.
But when I saw the radio station, this just to show you can trust your host, your podcast host. They say, I wonder if these guys are really as well versed on reality TV as they say they are. The second I saw that radio station, what did I say? I said, oh, that's the one with, because I didn't see who was in it. Yeah. I said, they've done this date before. Yeah. With, now I can't remember his name. Jason Mesnick. Yeah, Jason Mesnick. Yeah. You remember that?
And you said it like before Jason was even there. On the screen. And then all of a sudden Jason pops up.
I just saw the room for a split second. I was like, oh, that's. Yeah. And bam. I was like, wow, that's
still
crazy.
Still trap memory.
Listen, man. I don't know. There's a lot of podcasters.
And then they showed a callback.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Which is it's weird. We've seen a lot of flashbacks on reality TV shows.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. We got to bring that up when we talk about Big Brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of these reality TV show podcasters that are like, we love the show. We've been watching it forever. But only this podcast actually remembers. There's so many reality TV covered podcasts where they can't even remember what happened that episode. Now, don't get me wrong. We forget some stuff too, but
sure.
Major plot points. Okay. So they're doing their classic the radio date where the Bachelors, they actually changed it up a little bit because they allowed the contestants to be in there. I don't think the segment, there's no way it aired for real live when it happened.
I don't think it aired. I don't know.
No, because then it would have given away who was
you're right.
So
but did they go back and air it later?
Maybe they aired it the day after the show, so you could hear it on the station. So you got the what do you like about Jenn and right?
Yeah, what do you like about it was like 3 qualities about Jenn. And all the guys were saying really good things.
And
Devin,
they were doing the classic
Spencer,
one-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's nice. She's pleasant. She's the greatest thing that's ever happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that. And she acknowledged that, but she's like, oh, but I like that.
And we're just getting a lot of fluff from Salmon. We start to see the cracks from Salmon. And all the other guys are just like, oh, my goodness. Like, what is he saying? What is he doing?
Yeah.
And then even Jenn is kind of like, what? And then they're like, okay, well, we think we're going to choose one guy that we think you need to get to know a little bit more. And so they pick Sam M, and all the other guys leave, which they're annoyed because they have to go and like watch it on a TV screen.
Right, but they did get to see his answers.
But then they got to see him completely tank. I mean, he took a nosedive.
I would like to reenact this. You have this. You have Jenn.
Yeah.
You be Jenn, or do you want to be Jenn or Sam?
No, I'll be Jenn.
Okay, go ahead.
What was your first impression of me?
Wow. I almost didn't even come here. And when I got out the limo, first thing I thought, this girl is not my type. Not my type. To be honest, I thought the Bachelorette was going to be Daisy or Maria. And I thought after that, though, after seeing you and getting your vibe night 1, I was like, this is meant to be. I'm meant to be here.
What do you like about me?
I like your selflessness. It's because I'm selfless.
How do you know I'm selfless, though?
Well, you're either selfish or full of shit. Also, after night 1, our connection was such a high.
Do you really feel like you really know me?
Well, my love language is physical touch. And then he climbs over the seat and makes out with her.
That was wild. And there was another part in there too where he goes, oh dang it, what did he say? He was the ferocious love. Mm-hmm. He was like, the moment you said ferocious love, I just knew I'm looking for a whatever some synonym to ferocious.
It was the most cliche platitudes you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And said with zero authenticity.
Yeah. And then remember when before it was just them, they had all the guys there and they're like, okay, we're going to do one word association. I'm going to give you a word. You tell me another word back.
Right.
And they said fantasy suite. And Sam M said aggressive.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you just trying to show out? Or is that what what's really going through your mind?
Listen, none of what he said made sense or was applicable to any of her questions at any point.
Yeah, you're right.
His dad, well, I saw what someone who said they were his dad online claimed that, the editors mixed up all his stuff. He didn't really say those things in that order, and they tried to make him look dumb. I'm like, well, what order would have made sense?
No, because Jenn literally was walking out of there going, what?
And all the guys were reacting that way.
I think probably what did happen was he was going on and on and on and on and on because he didn't know what he was saying and he was just talking out of his butt. And so that's why he was probably like, oh, they cut so much out of it. But it still would not have made sense if they left it all in.
And exactly. It is tough when you're ranting and just kind of saying stuff. No one in real life, you never really have to go back and look exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Even if someone's like, you weren't making sense, people oftentimes will just say, if you knew what I was saying, you definitely would have got it. You just weren't listening to me.
Ugh.
And having to see yourself on TV not making sense, I don't know how you level with that.
Yeah, no.
But I've known this was coming since night
You have been saying that.
I just said what
you thought it was going to happen a lot sooner, though.
And he actually, for brief moments, maybe by Jenn, because of Jenn's grace and going easy on him, I was like, oh, maybe they are going to connect, But I knew as soon as she was like, no, actually, let's not just make out. Tell me what you like about me.
Yeah.
He wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah. And Jenn was really trying. Like, she was really trying to help him be better in how he was answering her questions.
Right, because we'll just go ahead.
No, I just was going to say, and because even Grant said it. He was like, well, I think it's because she cares. Like, she's still trying because there's something there.
Yeah,
and she even said it. She was like, I don't understand how I could be so off base and feel such a strong connection, but he doesn't even really know me.
Yeah, and I mean, just to fast forward, after her one-on-one date with Jeremy before the rose ceremony, she barges into the guys' room while they're like getting dressed. I mean, not the full, but you know what I mean, putting on their shirts and stuff and playing. I don't know. It looks like they're playing games of some kind. And finds him and is like, can you at least just give me something?
Yeah.
We kind of didn't mention this. He said, "Oh, I love you." After all the pressure. She was like, what? Why? Give me something. And he just goes, it's because I love you. I just love you. And she's like, okay, how do you know you love me?
I just think he wanted it to be this huge moment of just like, yeah, like nothing else matters because I love you. And she was just kind of like, no, that's not going to work. And I hate that. That's almost like exactly what Sam N did.
That's 100%.
When he was like, I'm falling in love with you. And it's just like, come on.
Yeah. Both of them, I think, had a perception of winning the show and to some varying degrees. And I also think he just didn't actually like her.
He could not even follow up with what he loves about her.
Right.
He said, "Oh, well, I could give you characteristics, right. But every girl has those characteristics." And I'm just like,
well, then what?
I'm like, no, that's not true. if you truly love someone, you should definitely be able to say what you love about them.
I almost want to like script doctor what he was saying, because benefit of the doubt, he could have gone somewhere with that. You know what I mean? Like, what's to say about? You could say the same thing about someone's face. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you've got red hair, you know, greenish bluish eyes. You know what I mean? Cute face, you know, cheeks. You know what I mean? But there's thousands of women that look just like that. The difference between them and you is the way you smile.
You know how mad I would have been?
No, the way you smile, you know what I mean? The way you laugh, you know what I mean? Yeah. The indistinguishable things that honestly I don't know if anyone notices, and it's hard to even articulate, but when I see you, you're so much different than all those people that have those same qualities.
Jared, you don't need to be writing scripts for these people.
But that's what I'm saying. He wasn't all the way wrong, you know what I mean? He just didn't land the plan.
Yeah.
So if that's what he was trying to do or communicate, he did it so unsuccessfully,
so poorly,
that if everyone was just like, what?
Yeah.
Because if he said, I know tons of girls who are kind, tons of girls who are, you know, strong-willed, you know what I mean, and sure of themselves, but it's the way you're kind. Mm-hmm. It's the way you're strong-willed and how it makes me feel that separates you. And it can only be described by the love that I feel for you.
But even that, it's like, what is the way that you see me being kind?
Right. Well, that you have to have you have to have substance.
He couldn't even say, it was kind of you to do X, Y, and Z for me. He couldn't even do that.
And you have to feel it. He doesn't even feel it.
No. And then that's another thing he said was, it's just a feeling. I can't say it. I just know it's just a feeling. And she's like, that's not going to cut it for me. No. Like, that's not going to work for me.
And thankfully, I'm glad she's seen the light.
Yeah.
So then we go to Jeremy. Jeremy's date. What did they do? I like how I was just talking about our steel trap memory. Listen. And now we have no idea what Jeremy. They went to the market, the Seattle market. We actually watched a podcast just outside that market.
Oh yeah.
It's another podcast. No free advertising. Anyways, and so they were throwing fish around, doing local market activity stuff. Then they had a date where they talked about each other's religions.
Oh yeah.
Their upbringings, mm-hmm. what they were looking for, mm-hmm. and out of nowhere, I mean, there's really not that much more to it. They did connect on some levels. Out of nowhere, he got a hometown rose. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure it was like, hey, sorry, Jeremy. But I guess with Sam
yeah, you were like, Jeremy's out. And I was like, I don't know. I could see him edging in. But
I think it was because Sam M was gone.
I think so too.
She didn't give out a group date rose.
And it was shocking that we really thought Grant would be in Final Four. So that was pretty shocking too. You didn't?
I don't know if I ever thought he was going to be in Final Four.
I thought he would be.
So that was, he got the rose. Mm-hmm. So she only had 2 roses left to give out. Mm-hmm.
I feel like we have gotten 0 screen time of her and Jeremy's connection.
I disagree. He just had a one-on-one, and before that they were doing. I felt so sure that she was getting a rose because I thought they had a very strong connection, if not the strongest connection.
What?
Yeah. I think Devin. She's got a strong connection with Devin.
Yeah.
But I think Jeremy is up there with Marcus and. I mean, not Jeremy. Wait. I'm talking about Jonathan, not Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Jeremy.
Let me correct. I was thinking, I heard you say Jeremy, but in my head I thought you said Jonathan. No, Jeremy.
I was like, what? Are we watching the same show?
No. I didn't even think of Jeremy at all.
No, that's why I'm like, I'm shocked that Jeremy got a hometown.
Yeah, I saw Jeremy as one of those guys that just kind of
almost like a Spencer.
Yeah, I didn't see him making it. I actually thought Spencer would have had a better chance than Jeremy ever did.
Well, so at this point, who do you think's winning?
We've got at hometowns. We've got
Devin, Jeremy, Marcus, and Jonathan.
Okay, it's not Jeremy. It's not Jonathan, and I know it's not Jonathan because she's looking up when she does the whole like, I can't let you propose to me, mm-hmm. and he's not that much taller than her. So that leaves Marcus and Devin.
I think it's Devin.
It's definitely Devin.
I think it's Devin.
It's definitely Devin because if you notice, they've cooled down on the villain stuff.
Yeah,
they did that at the beginning, and now the edit is more like They're not showing guys. They want, the final one pick to not look like a villain for the sake of their lead. And so we're not getting any of that edit anymore. And I think it's Devin.
Yeah.
Which is, would be interesting. I don't think it's been a long time since we've had a guy like Devin win the show. So that'll be interesting. That's what I think it is. So we also got some more news after everyone got their roses. It didn't end up on the show. It got dropped on the Bachelor Nation blog about a minute after the show premiered.
Yeah.
Almost as like, I had to verify it. I was like, is this a fake blog?
It did seem like a fake out because they were Johnny on the spot with it.
And it's much earlier than they usually announce it.
Yeah.
But The Bachelor was announced for next season of the show.
I think they're trying to get away from like, oh, I thought it was going to be Daisy. I thought it was going to be... I think they're like, no, we need to get it out there and we need to get people who want to date this person.
I agree. And I honestly think that's a great idea. Sam M said it himself, just like you said. I thought it was going to be so-and-so.
Right.
We need people who are coming on there to date the lead because that gives you a good crop of contestants that are, as we said, there to date the lead.
Right.
So, that's really all there is to it, I guess. Grant grew on us. He seemed very cliche at the beginning of the season.
I know.
He seemed like just kind of like a guy, good-looking guy, says the right things because he knows that's all he needs to do.
Yeah.
But as the more we saw that he had depth in his emotions. If anything, he kind of fell in love really easily. I think, if anything, I was like, that's all it took. You know what I mean? And
well, I listened to his whole interview on Vial Files today, and he literally said like, after so they were like, what did you learn? And he was like, I learned that I could fall in love after one date with someone. And I was just like, whoa, that's dangerous, but also like, okay.
And that's exactly the kind of person the producers
I
want.
know.
They don't want somebody who takes them a whole season and be like, I could see dating you, Lila.
Yeah.
They want someone who, oh my gosh, I love 17 women. How did this happen?
But so he did say that he has been in one serious relationship and it was like 7 years, which to me says he's loyal. Like, I think he really is taking it seriously.
No, you're right. No, it's going to be interesting to see how they go about his season because we still don't know too much about him. But even his responses to the guys and how he talked to them showed his maturity. I think was that last episode where we were like, wow, this is the Grant maturity episode.
Yeah.
And looking back, that might have been the producer saying, okay, let's show, let's assure that these guys.
Well, I'm glad they did.
Right. And it was a good call. Good job, producers. So yeah, that was good to see, I believe, from Grant that he has that side to him. But that's our Bachelor. We don't know much about. Oh,
that
he's a Houstonian.
Being said, he's a Houstonian, and that being said, I have the perfect match for you, Grant Ellis. Okay.
Oh, you're right.
I have found your future wife.
And
I know who she is.
Don't say her name.
I won't say her name. She is a Texas local. And I will be signing her up.
We're actually doing it right now. Let's talk about her while you sign her up. Come on.
Okay. She is one of my very best friends from college. She's Texas A&M grad. Gig 'em.
Okay, hold on. Stop.
Too much info?
Yeah, don't give personal info.
Oh! What do you want me to say?
Well, talk about who she is and not her address, home at her.
Okay.
So people can find her.
Okay. She is very kind, very loving. She will do anything for anybody. She will give you a shirt off her back. She is... Can I say what she does for a profession? No, I won't say that. She
Come on,
loves
Sam
pets.
Why don't you talk about why she's good and not just...
I am.
Yeah, but not her location and her occupation.
Okay.
Talk about how cool of a person she is.
I am. Let me speak, please. She loves animals. She is a great caretaker to dogs. And she likes fitness. She is...
Can you type that in? We're filling out her application right now.
Wait, did you do the... Okay.
So yeah, so we are applying Brooke's friend to the show. Hopefully she can get cast. I gotta
ask her birthday. But some of these questions are a little personal.
Okay, well maybe we're not gonna
like her height and weight.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. Maybe if you're not gonna talk while we're doing it, maybe we won't do it on the podcast.
What do you have to say about her? You know her.
I know her very briefly, Grant. Grant, you're not going to be disappointed. She's a good-looking girl. She is fit. I mean, there's nothing. When you choose her, all that we ask is that y'all come on our podcast first. That's all I'm asking.
Yes, please.
Okay. So while Brooke's doing that, we're going to, I believe, wrap it up for Bachelorette this week. Like we're anticipating the rest of I actually pictured this segment being a little less Brooke typing silently and more of us talking and maybe laughing while we were doing it. But
Sorry,
I didn't realize you would go so.
I'm taking it very seriously.
Yeah. So, anyways, So Grant, we look forward to you selecting Brooke's friend to be your future winner of the season. And hey, even if you don't, you're in Houston. You don't have to fly out to New York or California to join a podcast to talk about your experience. You don't even have to wait until after you've been the Bachelorette. Come to the People's Rose, man. We are going to give you all the fair coverage that you want. You can say whatever.
Listen, I know you're used to like the big leagues now with Vial Files, but like, come give us a chance.
No, don't say it like that.
Why?
It's gonna be fun. We're cool people. You'll enjoy it. Okay, so we'll come back to the application here in a second.
Yeah, there's some personal cues on there I gotta ask.
Yeah, we didn't come fully prepared for that. Also, I don't have an also. So that was it. That's it for the Bachelorette this week.